Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. We are on day 22 of our Advent calendar. I can't believe we were almost done with this. So let's go ahead and find that window. We'll open it up and see what we've got. So we've got some layered stencils today. And this is going to create a 3-colored circle. It's kind of a mandala. So I've decided to use some Distress Oxide ink for this. I've grabbed a panel. This is a normal A2 size card. I was hoping to do this directly on my card front. However, you'll see as we go forward, I do end up using a die to cut this out. So I am measuring the center markers for my panel here. And I'm going to erase that so that it's very, very light, just faint enough for me to see. I'll tape that into place. And then we're going to actually start with one of the fill-ins. You'll see why in a minute here, but I'm going to tape that down. And then the colors I'm going to use today are Abandoned Coral, Spiced Marmalade, and Faded Jean. So we're going to start out here with our Spiced Marmalade. And I'm just pouncing that on there. Sorry, it's a little bit shaky here, but as I'm stenciling, I'm shaking the table a little bit. I'm going to fill in this portion with this yellow color. And then we'll peel that away. On top of that, we're going to add our next layer. And I'm making sure to keep these evenly spaced so that they're going to fit in our top layer here. Again, taping that down, and now I'm going to pull in my Abandoned Coral, and we will pounce that on there as well. And now for our third and final color, I'm going to line this up, making sure that I'm covering everything that we've already done. And this was pretty easy to line up. And I'm going to cover this one all the way around on all 4 edges because I wanted to add some texture to this and give us a little bit of dimension. I'm going to pull in some Reinker texture paste, and I'm going to mix that with some Faded Jean Distress Oxide. So I'm sorry this is a little bit off camera, but what I'm doing is using my pad here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that ink down, mix in my texture paste. And this texture paste, I always tend to pull out a little bit more than I need, which is probably better than not having enough, but I tend to try and hold back on this because I know I always have more than I need and I'm always left with some left over. So I wanted this to be a nice solid dark blue. So I'm adding in, I think I did this 3 or 4 times until I was happy with the solid color that I had. And then once I've got this all mixed, I think we're there. Yeah, we're going to spread this over the stencil. And I'm keeping this as even as I can, just as smooth and as straight. And I'm not pushing down on this. I'm just gliding it over the stencil because I don't want it to seep in any of those lines or underneath any of our openings. And once I've got this pretty level, I'm happy with the coverage. We'll go ahead and peel away our stencil. And voila. So I have let this dry overnight because I didn't want to risk smudging any of this. I got a little bit of that abandoned coral off of my stencil, so I was hoping that I would be able to take this away with my sand eraser, but unfortunately, I think because I let it dry overnight, it did not. If I had used it the same day, I may have been able to save it, but that's okay. I'm going to pull out my Sizzix circles, find one that fits around it, and we will just go ahead and die cut this out. And there we go. So I'm going to measure this real quick. This is the 3-inch circle, just in case anyone else wants to use theirs the same way. I have pulled in a stamp set from the Stamp Market. This is called Kindness is Beauty. Added that sentiment below here. We're going to stamp that out using some Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And this I am doing directly on my card base. And then we'll go ahead and stamp our inside sentiment as well, which reads, "Thank you so much for all you do." This is from the same stamp set. We're going to add some pop dots to the back of our circle here. And peel away the backing. And then we'll pop that into place. Finally, we'll finish up with our inside panel, add some ATG to the back of that, and place that down as well. And that will complete our card for today. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find a list of supplies as well as links for everything I've used today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 23.